Good afternoon, my grade 8 class. How are we doing today? Awesome job. I know that you're doing well. I missed you all. It has been a while since we have actually met on this platform. So I'm happy that we're here again this afternoon. Are you ready to learn? Awesome job. All right. So ensure again that you have your notebook, your pen, your pencil, your gadget, the charger, everything up and running because we are about to give this our best shot. All right. So let's go. All right. So for this session, I am going to share my screen with you as per usual. But just before I do that, I want you Yes, I want for you to just recall what we have been doing for the past week. What is that big topic that we have been looking at? Punctuation marks. High five for that. Awesome. Punctuation marks. Now listen up to this. Listen to this. I spy. So I spy a punctuation mark that allows me to ask question, and this is usually placed at the end of a direct question. what what is it that I'm spying? What is it that I'm spying? A question mark. Awesome job. Who said that? Great job. Awesome. All right, so I spy again. Are you ready? Yes. So I spy a punctuation mark that helps me to separate and sometimes indicates a pause that would occur if the sentence were spoken aloud. What am I spying? Yes, I spy that. What am I spying? Not sure? A colon? A semicolon? Okay. Not not so close. All right, let us see. So we're going to stick a pin right there to see. Let us jump to our specific objectives and then we will be able to figure out that answer immediately. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Share my screen. All right, just a moment. Just a moment. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with you. All right. Where is it? All right, so jumping right into our specific objectives. All right, so by the end of this session, you should be able to explain the use of the of the comma and the question mark. So the answer there with the spy, what I spy was a comma indeed. We're going to identify the comma and the question mark in sentences. And we're going to use commas and question marks correctly in sentences. Finally, we're going to apply the punctuation rules in various scenarios. So those are our objectives for this session. I implore that you are taking your notes accordingly. All right, so know that we have done that. We are going to I'm not sure what's happening with. Are you able to see the screen? Is it sharing? Are you able to view what is on my screen? No? Yes? I always have to double check on this because sometimes the new norm still getting the best of us sometimes, right? But we must trot along. All right, so here goes. Let me get my chart. So we're using the KWL chart today, right? What we know. All right, so what do we know about the punctuation marks, specifically the comma and the question mark? Anything? All right, so the question mark, the sign, so we know the sign, right? Signs. And the comma, okay. The question sign is used to ask questions. All right. My writing is not the best, right, Raheem? I know, I'm working on it. So used to ask, think I'm just going to highlight this. So the question mark is used to ask a question, yes? The comma used to separate, that's you, Jessica? All right. To separate. Anything specifically? Like date and month? Okay. Date. Okay. Do we know anything else? Not sure? All right. What do we want to know? Okay. How to use. Want to know how to use the what is it you want to know? How to use the comma and the and okay, and the question mark. Not a problem. Anything else we want to know? Okay, and when to use them? When to use what? Both of them? Okay, so when to use them? So when to use the question mark and also when to use the comma, not a problem. All right, so we are going to dive into that. Now, I'm going to show you a short video clipping. I'm not sure if my screen is sharing. Indeed, it is. All right, so I'm going to share with you a short video clipping. Please, as per usual, ensure that you pay attention to this. All right, so I'm going to allow you to watch this.
Whoa, adapted mind math! gonna learn so many cool.
Okay, that's not the video. Not sure. Give me a second. Let me just get the video up and running again. It was there. Not sure what happened, but bear with me with this. All right, here we go.
Whoa, Adapted Mind Mad! Come explore the site with me. I'm in first grade.
Think we're on track now. Let's go.
The comma. Sentences need commas in order to be clear in meaning. Let us revise the rules of using the comma in sentences. We use commas to separate a list of 3 or more things in a row. For example, all of my properties, shares, savings, and credit cards cannot buy me peace. We use commas to separate the day or month and the year in a date. For example, what is the difference between March 23, 2013 and March 23, 2031? We use a comma to separate the name of the city and the state in an address. For example, there is a rush to be at Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh during the Kumbh Mela. We use a comma before a conjunction that joins 2 sentences. For example, you can choose to enjoy in the rain, or you can choose to curse the rain. We use a comma to separate a person's name in a direct address. For example, would you like to answer this question, Fatim? We use commas after introductory words like yes, no, hey, well, now. For example, hey, that bike is mine. We use commas to separate 2 or more adjectives from the same group that are describing a noun. For example, an orphanage needs a kind, wise, and generous caretaker. We use commas before and after a person's name in a direct address if the name is in the middle of the sentence. For example, does this shop belong to you, Mrs. Gandhi, or to someone else?
Alright, so that's the end of the video. Alright, so based on that short video there, what do you realize about the use of comma? I know some of us, we might be familiar with the use of the comma. Yes? So you want to share with me? Alright, so you use it beautiful. Yes, you use it when? Go ahead. The name of the city and the state in an address, okay. Before a conjunction, such as what? On a or but. Those are just examples, right? Beautiful. To separate a person's name in a direct statement or a sentence. Awesome. So I see that you were taking note. Beautiful. All right. So let us look at the question mark. All right. So the question mark is used at the end of a direct question. Indirect questions take a period. I know maybe we're wondering what this is. It's a mouthful, right? So let us look at some examples of the direct questions. For instance, may I have a reader? Thank you. So, what is she doing tonight? So that's a direct question you're asking someone. What is she doing tonight? Versus being indirect, right? I wonder what she's doing tonight. So you're not asking at this point. Yes? You're wondering, what is she doing tonight? Let us look at another one, being direct. The question is, does anyone support this legislation? And we have the punctuation mark, which would be the question sign at the end. So if you realize again that the question mark usually falls at the end, pay attention there, the end of a direct question. Now, direct questions within a sentence. When a direct question occurs within a larger sentence, it takes a question mark. Note, let me just double check there if my screen is sharing with you. Yes. So when a direct question occurs within a larger sentence, it takes a question mark. Note that in the examples below, the question mark supplants the comma that would synthetically belong to its place. All right, so let us look at this example. And remember that this sentence is larger. So, it's longer here. Let us go. Would they make it on time? And here you realize that they're using the question mark because what? Beautiful. It is a direct question. You want to find out something, hence you're asking, right? So the sole purpose is to find out something. So when you want to find out, at the end of you finding out, at the end of you asking rather, that is where you put the question mark. She wondered. So the key question, can two sides reach a compromise? Was that answered? What are we having for dinner? His son asked. So do you realize what happened? So after they ask or after the person wanted to find out something, then that is where you go ahead and insert the question mark because it is a direct question being asked. Looking at this being incorrect. Could you make it on time? There's no need for a comma here, right? No need for that because they're asking a direct question. And you can go on with this to test your own skill as well. So if you're asking a question, try it at home. Try it even in your writing when you're asking a question, when you want to find out something, right? That is when you go ahead and you insert your question mark. All right? Any questions about this? Any concerns? Anything we want to know? Yes, no? All right. So that's the key thing that we want to know about the question mark today. That it is usually placed at the end of a direct question. Yes? So let us look now at the comma. The comma sometimes, excuse me, the comma sometimes we confuse it. Yes? As it says that the comma might be the most troublesome punctuation mark. You realize that the most troublesome punctuation mark. And this is largely due to the many ways that the comma is used. So you realize that we have different ways, different rules to apply the comma. Now, sometimes the comma indicates a pause that would occur if the sentence were spoken aloud. Other times, the comma separates grammatically components of the sentence. Finally, there are mechanical and stylistic uses of the comma that are simply conventional. I know that this is a lot for us to take in, so let us look at some of the examples to break it down. All right, so let us go. Let us look at this, the conventional or mechanical use of the comma. So place your attention here as we proceed. Now, there are several uses of the comma that can best be described as conventional or mechanical. The use or omission of the comma is well established, and writers need only to apply the rules. All right, so for numbers, it says most authorities, including the Associated Press Style Book and the Chicago Manual of Style, recommends a comma after the first digit of four-digit numbers. The exceptions include years, page numbers, and street addresses. So pay attention to that. So again, most authorities, including the Associated Press Style Book and the Chicago Manual of Style, they recommend that when you have four digits, right, then the comma is usually placed after the first digit. Let us look at the example here. So we sold 1,270. So if you realize, the comma is placed after the first digit, which is 1. So 1, comma, and then we have 270, right? So to remember this, remember our tens place, our ones column, our tens column, hundreds column, and thousand. So in the thousands column, that is where you put your comma after the thousand. So ones, tens, hundred, comma, and then you had the thousand there. So we sold 1,000, comma, 270 rare books last year. The most expensive sold for 5,255. All right. You also use it. Look at this, junior and income. Look at this. So the trend with these labels is to omit the comma. You realize this? So here they omit the comma, and I'm pretty sure that you're able to see other abbreviation like these. Yes. So wherever you see something like this, for instance, JR Junior and income, then you realize that you're supposed to omit the use of the comma as it follows a period here. And I'm pretty sure that we know about the period already, the full stop. Look at the example. David White Jr. is the father of David White III. All right. All right, so let us go down to direct address. And this is the last one that we're going to place our attention on with the use of the comma. So when directly addressing someone, the person's name all right, so the person's name or title should be set off with commas. So again, when directly addressing someone, when you're making reference to someone, when you're talking to someone, the person's name or the title, it must be set off with the use of the comma. Look at the example below. We could not have done it without you, Lisa. You realize the comma comes just before the name, the person's name. Thank you, comma, Governor, for your support. Thank you, who? the governor, right, for your support. So you realize that it is really set off with the use of the comma. Lori, please stop by my office before you leave for the day. So just bear this in mind that when you use the comma, when you're addressing someone directly, then the person's name or the title should be set off with the use of the comma. All right. Any questions? Any concerns? Anything we need to brush up on? Anything you don't understand? Anything you want for me to clarify? Now is the time to do so. No? Yes? Okay, so just to remind us that the comma, it serves many purpose, yes? And oftentimes it is said to be the most difficult, but once you're able to remember some of the rules, then you'll be able to apply it. For example, using it before a conjunction, and I'm pretty sure that we remember about conjunction as we touched on coordinating conjunctions in previous videos. Yes, we use it when we're separating a person's name in a direct statement, as was said before, when you're making reference to a city and a state in an address. And the list goes on, talking about date. So you would say March 3, comma, 2010. Yes? So indeed, I trust that you have learned something. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm going to know if you learned something on Jahil. Yes, I will know for sure. Yes, now is the time for you to talk to me. So, what have you learned? Yes, because I was recapping what was taught. So, now is the time for you to talk to me. What have you learned? All right, Akil, you're saying the comma is complex. All right, that's yes. So the comma so it can be complex to use, yes. Anything else? Okay. Have many different rules. Mm-hmm. Anything else? All right. See, yes, the question mark is used at the end. Mm-hmm. Is used at the end of a question. And thank you for that. But what kind of question? I need to know that. You said that the question mark is used at the end of a question. What kind? Beautiful. So direct. Please remember that, yes? Direct. Beautiful. All right, so I trust that you have learned something. Now we're going to bring that out in an exercise. So I'm going to post the link, the links rather, because you're going to work on these exercises for me. I know that you're going to master them, right? Yes, I believe that you will. So here you're going to, let me see, for the comma, it's only 10 of them. So you should be able to finish up these pretty quickly. So I'm going to post the links in the description and you'll be able to access it. And also, you're going to, so it says choose the correctly punctuated sentence, and you're using the comma. And then you're moving on to the use of the question marks. For this, it's only 5 of them. So you're going to choose the correct sentence with the use of the question mark. For your assignment, you are going to write a letter telling your friend what you have learned in class. Now, in doing so, you must utilize the question mark alongside the comma. All right. So ensure that you make reference, ensure that you use the question mark and also the comma. I need to see this coming out in your writing. So just in case you have any questions, any concerns, please go ahead, feel free to type them in the chat. And I promise for next session, we will work on these. I will answer all of them. All right. Have a great rest of evening and, well, afternoon, that is. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.